Welcome to our show. Thank you for being a part of this moment. Shout out the man, with the plan back there. Right? Sorry, I forgot your name, but I just want you to know, I see you, Graham. Graham, I see you. You know what I mean? And shout out Jeremy Longpre, my guest of the evening. Make some noise for Jeremy Longpre. Yeah. So thank you for being here, Jeremy. How do you feel, man?
I'm great, man. This is episode 37 of the North Star podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's my podcast.
Hey, man, you can take over right now, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, hey, the ownership changed when you asked me to do the intro, brother. You know what I mean? I'm the face of the brand now.
Yeah, this is a new style of podcast today. So
man. I'm gonna elongate this just a little bit. Let me know if it fucks with your thing. How do I make this bitch? Yeah.
Graham.
I'm trying to take my job serious, but I missed a couple of the manuals. Just a little bit. I'm gonna keep touching it. Is that fucking up with your sound right now?
I mean, it's not messing up too much, so long as it's close.
Okay. I like doing things with my hands.
Hey, man.
I feel you.
Put a mic stand in my face. I gotta touch it.
That's what you're used to doing.
I gotta touch them. I gotta touch these things by any means necessary.
It's your weekly thing you got to do.
Nice. It's like right in my mouth. This is nice. It's so intimate.
Very intimate. That's how close we are too. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I want you to just start off by thank you for the intro, by the way.
You're welcome.
That was a very good intro, actually.
I'm gonna send you an invoice at some point, and I hope you're not surprised.
Contracting him out today. No, I just, man, I just, I think it's going to be really cool for you to talk about your story, because I know you've come a very long way and far away when it comes down to like what you want to accomplish. And I think it's really cool. And I know you've worked really hard to get to where you are. And I just want you to, just chat a little bit about like why you decided to go into this industry, but also to your mindset going through this process, because I think at the end of the day, the big thing for us in this conversation will just be to really understand like what it takes to kind of get to a point where you're doing what you're doing. So, yeah.
Well, how did I start? I thought I was funny. First of all, I felt like I was.
I would say, yeah, you're funny.
I felt like I was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was using every single day that I was going to school as a new day to be as funny as possible. That was literally every single time I walked into that school, bro. At a certain point, once I locked into the fact that, I want to actually see how much funnier I can get. Because once you see somebody cry from laughing, bro, it does something to you. Bro. I'm like, I want to do that again. I want to do that over and over and over again. And then eventually, I'm also like, I want to make people laugh without swearing. So I want to make teachers laugh. I want to make jokes like that. Like the whole class will laugh, and if you're not supposed to laugh, which you get kicked out of the class, but it is what it is. So
I remember a few times that would happen.
Hey, life is unfair, right? So, and then eventually I remember when we were supposed to actually like take life serious and be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Obviously, because you play sports, you're like physio and like and those type of things. And then I forget why I started thinking that I could actually do comedy as like I don't know when the first idea of that came up, but then I started being proactive and asking around about it. I asked Mr. Perry. I don't know how we ended up talking about it. I think it was Mr. Perry. And he's like, hey, there's a comedian actually that used to go here, Sonny Dollywall. I'm like, that's crazy. So he linked me with him.
Oh, cool.
Sonny was out of town touring the States or something like that at the time. So Sonny plugged me with another comedian. And that's the comedian that put me on stage for the first time. That was like I forget what year that was. But that was a while ago. Probably a decade ago, 11 years ago, something like that. Right? Oh, actually what made me feel like I could do it? When I did acting in grade 12. I didn't think I was doing it just to like as a spare, if we're gonna be honest. And then I started liking it. I'm like, this is kind of crazy how talented some people are. They can really cry on command. Terrifying, but they could really cry on command, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is really cool. But I love being on stage, especially the comedy stuff that we would do. The way I would make people laugh, I'm like, this is sick. And then I started selling it for me. I went to the drama festival. Yeah. With the class, and that was one of the best experiences ever. There's like 15-year-old kids up there like putting on crazy performances, and it's a monologue by themselves for like 40 minutes. Wow. So anyways, all that type of stuff inspired me, and then I'm like, cool, let me just start. And then after that, it's been building blocks,
What has been, you'd say, like a pretty memorable moment within your career so far? Has there anything that like really stood out?
Memorable? Anytime I've gotten to travel, when I've done it for comedy competitions or just to do performances, like that's pretty sick. I can't think of something right now. Obviously, the shows that I put on, the shows that go really well, those are always going to be memorable to me. Like the crowd enjoying themselves top to bottom. I've done Just for Laughs. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's sweet. How was that?
It's fucking sick. It's a good time, man. They comedy's a really big deal. They do it every year in Vancouver. Just for Laughs, they come here every year. They do a festival. Big names like Seinfeld was here this year.
Yeah.
Like they have a bunch of big names that come down, and then they also do a bunch of local shows and stuff like that, right? So it's that was fun. It's sick.
Do you prefer hosting or do you prefer being the comedian?
Depends
like
on
on
the day.
stage.
Depends on the day. Depends on the show.
Okay.
Because I'm big. I like doing all of it. I like being as like involved I like being as able to do as much as possible if I have to. Some days I wish I could just lock in and just like focus on just one set,
Yeah.
like a tight whatever set you have to do, and then that's it. That's your time. But then hosting, in my opinion, is kind of easier because you have to just basically do time at the beginning, and then the rest of the time is not about you. You have to just keep the flow going, basically.
Yeah.
That's all about. Both. I like both. If I'm gonna be greedy, I'll say hosting because I get more stage time. I'm on throughout the whole night. You know what I mean?
Do you when it comes to hosting though, what would be something that is, as you've gone through it and as you've done more shows, that you've gone better at, but what are some things that you didn't realize that it took to be a host?
Interesting. That's a good question. What didn't I realize I needed to be a host? I don't know about not realize, but like how important it is to be on the same page with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can't be just you're up there just saying a bunch of stuff. They have to feel you. They really have to be on the same. You're the introduction to the show. You know what I mean? So you can't fuck it up. That first whatever set that you do, you can't fuck it up because it just makes it so much harder for the next comedians, especially the next comedian after the host. But I would say getting the crowd to be on the same page as you, because some hosts, everybody's different, right? Some shows are cleaner than others. So if you can get the crowd to understand that we're gonna like be silly, like on some like jokey, childish jokes, but also like tiptoe the line, but then also be funny and be like considerate. It's not just gonna be like slur. Being able to find that line is crazy because then the crowd is so much more relaxed, especially nowadays. If anybody can feel like, yo, you have some consideration to the way you like attack certain topics, then everybody relax. Everybody's more willing to laugh in the room and stuff like that. But you have to confront it. You have to confront every discomfort in the room in order to actually have a good night. I would say you can't go away from it.
Do you think that also translates how the comedian presents their content to the crowd as well, or do you find it differs host to comedian?
What do you mean by that?
So, for example, you had mentioned like relating to the crowd or trying to incorporate a joke or incorporate something that someone feels a little bit more comfortable like laughing about. Do you find that differs host to comedian, or is it pretty much similar when it comes down to it?
I think it's pretty similar. The only difference is with hosting, you have more time
Okay.
to be able to introduce yourself and show people your personality throughout the time you're on stage, on and off. But with performing a set, just a set, bro, it's like you gotta get her done. I did a competition in Toronto, and since there's so many people, you have 3 minutes. That's it.
That probably goes by so quick.
Bro, it goes by so quick. I've never done anything like that. That's why I was so excited to do it, because it's like such a big competition thing. I was so nervous. Felt like a sports tournament. Like everybody in the lobby is a comedian. Everybody everywhere's a comedian. So everybody's like stressed. Everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out. But 3 minutes, you have to introduce people. You have to introduce yourself to people from the first word you say, so that like if you're gonna do risque jokes, it'll work. Because man, if you just go in hot, sometimes the crowd is not lubed up for that. They're not ready for that.
Can you give us a bit?
Can I give you a bit?
Yeah.
Man, this guy got me coming here to work on the freaking mic. This guy got me working doing the intros. This guy's like, all right, so now give me a joke, funny boy. That's crazy. No, I'm not gonna do that. Unless you can do a backflip for me right now. If you can do a backflip for me right now, I got
Graham,
you.
can you come do a backflip?
Listen, man. You've been laughing this whole time. You're welcome. Let's start with
Yeah,
that.
no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's start with that.
I gotta ask. If you never ask, then who knows what's gonna happen, right?
Trust me, this is unfortunately a question we get all the time. You know what I mean? It's like me
Maybe-
walking around being like, do some push-ups for me, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, do some bench for me.
Hey,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
Hey, that's a simple. That's a question I get asked. Well, what can you bench? What can you squat? You know, so it's pretty funny. So when it comes down to, at the end of the day, when you're performing as the comedian, what is going through your mind when you're on stage? Do you find you feel like you're nervous? You're wondering if somebody's gonna think it's funny? Like, what goes through your mind when you're on stage?
As soon as I'm thinking about those things, I know I'm not doing too well. But like I try to deal with those things before I go up there. The more I've gotten a routine before going up on stage, the better I've been able to just be in the moment when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
And it's usually like when you're really in the bag, at least for me, it's like things slow down a little bit. So you notice like multiple reactions at once type of thing. You'll notice like body language a little bit more. Things just slow down. Your body language slows down. You get more comfortable. Like, yeah, that's when it's a good time. But other times too, you can tell something and nobody laughs. But even if you don't show it in your mind, you're like, I wonder if it's something that I said or if it's how I said it. You know what I mean? Or if it's the timing or if they didn't hear me right, because sometimes you say too low, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, there's a lot going on. But if you can just like stay in the moment, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Do you have a certain style that you like to bring on stage when you're performing?
Just honesty.
Yeah. Like stories that's happened to you?
Yeah, stories. Like a lot of the stuff is like life stories for me. But then I can write up, I create stories as well for myself. But like the theme for every single one of my stuff, I would say is like, one thing I've gotten a lot is the playfulness, almost like childish type of thing. But then also like, I get this a lot from white guys, and I already know why. But they always say, "Yeah, man, I thought it was gonna be like some fucking PC bullshit, like all the time. That's all I see nowadays is PC bullshit." It's like I'm waiting for them to be like, "Yo, I love the fact that you're a nigga." You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, it's always the white guys, literally, that have told me that. So like, I guess it's not PC. That's why I'm like, yo, it's honest. I'm gonna talk about whatever like is really just happening, but like vulnerability, because I want people to feel like they can laugh about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not coming from a vindictive place, right?
Oh, that's cool. And what do you think you need to work on as a comedian?
Everything,
Let's go into detail, man.
man. I feel like I could get funnier. I can get funnier at everything. I can get funnier from everything from getting booked on more shows to my delivery, to my writing. My writing, I would say, is like one of the things at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And it's improved a lot. I'm really proud about it. But I have a long ways to go, in my opinion, before my repertoire is so full that I can just maybe give people like you free jokes. You know what I mean? Give back to the community. You know what I'm saying? But
We're a little ways away from there, or what?
I mean, listen, man. It's just right now, at least with no car, bro. You gotta buy me a car and do something. You know what I mean?
That's funny. When it, you said something when getting better or like being a better comedian, but I think, in this world, and from my understanding, being a comedian is hard. Like it's a hard business. I might be totally wrong in the aspect of I don't understand the whole business side of it, but I think it'd be cool for you to go a little bit of the business side, but also something that people might not know about the direction of the business of being a comedian and what the struggles are to get through that.
Bro, I haven't even been in it long enough to be like somebody talking about it like back in the day. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I just start off with that. But one thing I've noticed, especially since pandemic, because everybody was at home and there was a lot more social media accounts created during that time, like you could tell the realms everybody went to, a lot of more personal trainers, a lot more, stuff that you could just post and make money off of and stuff like that. And one of those things was comedy. A lot of people doing skits. And then a lot of people that did skits managed to go on tours. So you cut out the middle guy of like, yo, you need to earn your stripes, of like, you need to be know the right people, even if you're really funny, you just have to wait your turn. Like that's one thing that's changed now. You can really take it in your own hands. Like if you just get your following up and you're consistent and you can just get your own crowd to come to your own shows. You can put on your own shows. You have more of bargaining chip. You could just say no to more things. And you don't have to wait for other people to put you on shows, so you can create your own content, right? So, and also you can pay yourself, because you could do how many shows and not get paid for them,
Yeah,
right? It depends on who you are, depends on where you're booked on the lineup to, and it depends on it depends on so many different things. But I don't know. I feel like it's a like even agents and stuff like that, bro. Stuff like that almost doesn't matter until you're somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically nobody until you're somebody, which I guess is the same with everything. But like this is something a lot of comedians talk about. You make no money until you make a lot of money. Like there's like that middle section is obviously different for everybody, but the jump is drastic. It's so drastic. But hey, to each their own though.
Mm-hmm.
You can make something for yourself for sure. You're just gonna have to work really hard and do everything until you don't have to anymore.
Do you look up to any specific comedians at all in their career or how they hold themselves?
Yeah, like I don't know about how they hold themselves, but when it comes to just like the way they're funny in general, the way they made me feel, like, and I guess a little bit of piece of how they hold themselves, because really it's your personality on stage, because they're like that in interviews too. I'm thinking right now, like Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and all of them for different things. Eddie Murphy, freaking what's his face? He's dead right now. I always forget his name, but he's one of my favorite comedians. But anyways, there's Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr in interviews especially, bro. Like he's so much of the same person. Like you can't fuck with that guy. Like you can't just say dumb shit to Bill Burr and expect that to just be less slide. He's a lot like Cat Williams like that. But yeah, there's a big list, big long list, and it's for completely different reasons. Almost every one of them.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because I feel like a lot of comedians also too have their own way of presenting, but also specific to their jokes and their stories. Because like you said, sometimes your jokes will be related to your life stories, right? So it's like if that never happened, then maybe there would be no joke to it, right? So
and that's the thing. That's why I'm like, yeah, you're right when you say it's hard, because at the end of the day, you have to look at everything that everybody else is looking at and still be able to make it funny. Which at that point you have to be able to practice in your own life doing that, which can get really, in a way, like toxic, because you're just not really dealing with a lot of the stuff that's going on. Most of the time, a lot of comedians aren't really dealing with a lot of the. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. But we're the ones who legit have to go up there and make you feel better about the fact that you don't deal with your shit, even though we don't deal with our shit too. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, there's a lot. And then on top of that, you have to have enough patience to take rejection and not even only on email, sometimes like real-time rejection is something I always tell people you should experience. Like, even if you don't want to be a comedian, I think everybody should try doing stand-up one time in their life. Bro, when you're up there and you're sucking by yourself, and you can't just walk off. Like, 5 minutes, bro, you got to do the whole 5 minutes of you just bombing. Like, stick it out, do the whole 5 minutes. If you suck the whole 5 minutes, stick it out to the end of the 5 minutes, because it makes everything else in your life feel easy as fuck, in my opinion. Because, bro, everybody was watching you. Like, there's no running from that. It's not like you're playing 5-on-5. You know what I mean? It's not like sports where you can hide behind whatever, or you suck as a team. No, you suck by yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then, in my opinion, it makes everything else feel easier. It's like having a hard workout. It's never going to feel that hard again. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
have you ever had something like that happen where you're like on stage and you're like,
it's not going well? Yeah, for sure.
And how and are you just like, I'm just got to get through it?
You got to do your time, because that's you losing. As soon as you get off there, you're losing confidence in the moment, but also in the future, because you're letting the environment dictate what you're going to do. At the end of the day, that's why I'm like, yo, if you have your pregame routine set and you already know what you want to do up there, that's why I say I've been doing comedy. I started comedy a long time ago, I guess, my first show. But now, since I started actually taking it seriously in the last few years, I do it differently. So like when I'm going up there, I already have something set. Unless all the side comments that I make are hitting it that hard, then I'm going to dive deeper into that. But if I'm sucking up there, I already know what I'm coming here to do. So if I can pivot to something else that I've practiced and I've written, I'll do that. Or I'll just stick to exactly what it is. Because sometimes you'll do the whole thing, and the thing you don't even think was funny is the one that'll work. And that's the whole point of open mics. That's why open mics are kind of tough, like, especially when you're trying to find your voice, because you could suck for years, like. And some people quit before even finding their voice, because they're like, I actually just suck. Like, this is who I am, right? But
you said quitting. Have you ever had a moment in the last, how long would you say you've been doing this for? How many years?
Seriously, I would say 4 years.
Okay, so in the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years, has there been a moment where you were like almost quit?
Bro, I just totaled my car.
So that was a moment.
Bro, I don't know. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself: is God giving me a sign to quit, or is He testing my faith? Yeah. And I laugh about that because it's like such a valid thing. But you can laugh about it, but it's such a valid thing. Like when you're grinding, when you're doing your own thing, especially when you're trying to create your own thing, and then you have a decent amount of those ups and downs, and then some of those downs are like more down, and then the down just keeps getting downer and downer. It's like we got a Down syndrome at this point, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? At that point, it can make you kind of question yourself. I have to like rewatch some of my sets to like be like, damn, actually funny. Like, wow, I could do this, you know? But it'll make you question yourself. That's the most recent, I'm telling you, that's the most recent time for me. It was like 2.5 weeks ago, where it's like, bro, because I totaled the car the next day. I had to take the bus for 2.5 hours just to go to the show.
Holy.
So yeah, it'll make you question yourself. Like, am I just wasting my time? I'm also getting older, right? I don't want to be delusional.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe like, it's like your parents staying in a marriage just because it's for the kids. We've already put in too much time. Am I sticking it out with comedy just because I feel like I put in too much time and it might be embarrassing if I have to restart? Or these are all valid things. I face some more now than I did at a certain point. Like, 'cause it's just the reality. Me not saying it is not gonna make it go away, right? But about 2.5 weeks ago, brother.
Let's see. That's a tough one, man. I've been there myself. Like I've been about say 9 years now, so approaching about a decade. But yeah, it's like I know what you mean. You ask yourself sometimes, is it worth the time that you're putting in, or is it worth the hardship, or But I think at the end of the day, it's you love it. I know from the sounds of it, you love what you do. And I think my question would be, in regards to all this, like, where do you envision yourself, right? Like when I started, I kind of envisioned myself kind of where I am now, but not really. Like I'm at a spot where I didn't exactly understand or know that this is where I would be, but I had a feeling this is the direction I wanted to go. But for yourself, like, what does that look like for you?
And when you say direction, like you wanted to own a gym, like you already had that in mind?
Well, yeah, like in a way, like I yes and no. Like, yes, I wanted to own a gym, but I knew that starting from my own and not
You just want to do your own thing.
Yeah, like it wasn't that I knew that I wanted to, let's say, start my own and make it like my own brand, but be able to like partner with someone, I think was something that I always thought of.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Like for the end goal, I don't have an end goal. I can't lie to you. The only thing that I'm really, really like looking forward to is being able to consistently live every day how I want to, as long as I perform well at nighttime, because that's when my job is really.
Yeah.
And just be able to sustain myself, my family, and whoever I might need to help or I want to help. And that's it, bro. That's because at that point I'm doing something I like for money. I'm making a decent amount of money, because with this stuff, like, especially if you're doing a good job, man, people will pay for it, right? People will pay for a good distraction. So it's like,
it's an interesting way of putting it, actually.
That's, you know what I mean? That's why the Super Bowl goes crazy.
Never thought of it like that.
Even just the halftime show on its own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's all. Honestly, that's all I think about. But what do I want to do in between there, bro? I want to work with as many people as I can doing shows. I really made that said that in my mind like the last year. One, I want to work with every black comedian that I fuck with in the city, which is almost every one of them. Like they're almost every single one of them are funny. I say almost because some of them I'm not as close with. I don't see them as much, but and then after that, other people now like that I personally feel like, oh, well, like I want to see how I would do going toe to toe with you on stage, chemistry wise, or just having to bounce off you and blah blah blah. Because then it just gives good practice. I want to open up comedy clubs. That'd be really sick. Like, and make it affordable for comedians to rent them out to do shows. That's one thing that's really hard. Like, especially now, I'll do it with the bus. Like going to look at venues, negotiating on your own. Like, and then some of these prices are so absurd. It might like make you feel so down that you kind of give up on the process, or you might not even know how to negotiate. You might not even know that you should negotiate, or like you might not know that some places even. Or sure, you'll get a lot of no's for the negotiation, but some places are so down to help, like so down to work with an artist that they'll be like, okay, let's figure out what works for you. You know what I mean? What works for me? Like, let's find a common ground. It'd be nice, yeah, to create a platform like that would be freaking sick. I don't know what else though. Like, I think everything else is gonna be created from that. I want to do movies too. That'd be really sick to be in movies, bro. Like, even if it's small parts, as long as it's funny, or as long as it's me doing something like that matters. Like if it's me crying, Like I want to do some shit like that. I want to do as much stuff that's different as possible. I would like to do a show in French one day.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be fucking sick. You know what I mean? Just check off random shit off the bucket list. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just do different shit. That's fun. Just
I don't
have
even
fun.
know I don't even know where you would start with that. Like, do you even know where you would?
And that's the thing, man. Once I think about those things, you get excited, and then you get, oh, wow, that's a lot. So then I'm like, I gotta go step by step of like the shows,
Yeah,
because you're creating your own thing with that. Because that's when, yeah, you could talk about something that I don't think is funny as fuck, but if one person thinks it's funny, there'll be another person that'll think that's funny, and then that's literally, you could start off a show 4 years ago. You could start off a show with 2-3 people there. And then a couple years later, you can have hundreds of people at your show just because you stuck it out through those times when nobody that was hearing you, not that nobody gave a fuck, just nobody that was hearing you give a fuck about what you were saying. But then you find people that care, right? And then you have to just stick that out slowly, and just keep building and capitalizing. Like, I have to get better. Like, if I'm not all around getting better at producing, promoting, friggin' flyers, ideas for flyers, ideas for like, just ideas in general, if I'm not getting better at all this type of stuff, like, it's hard to retain audience members. So that's really where I'm starting off right now, in consistency and letting everything else take care of itself and working on myself. The more I've worked on my personality and work on my own personal stuff, like my emotions and my mental and whatnot, like the more I'm able to be vulnerable and genuine on stage. Like you can people buy what I'm actually saying now. Even if I was saying the truth before, now I could tell that I'm just telling you, like, I don't need your validation. I'm just telling you what I
experience.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was yeah, man. I don't know. It's baby steps, man. Baby steps. It's almost it's like thinking about like partnering with somebody on a gym. It's like, where do you even start with that, right? But I think the more you're around the environment, the more you see how other people have done it, the more you see certain things, you have an idea how you want to do your thing. So yeah, it's I don't know, bro. I don't have a set end goal. I just want to be able to survive in this freaking world and pump out 7 children.
That's
and
right.
I want to be a stay-at-home dad if I choose to be a stay-at-home dad, because I have enough money to fucking do that. I want to do whatever I want, bro. I just want to do whatever I want, not on some like taking advantage of things and people, but do whatever I want is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean.
I just want to do what I want, bro.
I think more and more people are feeling like that, like the typical like work 9 to 5, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, retire, get your pension. You know, like I think that way of living is changing, man, and
Well,
people are seeing the difference of it, right?
When you see the prices now too, it's hard for you to stick to the same game plan that motherfuckers been preaching about for how many years, and like it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. Whatever you think you had to save at that point, you save that now, you're getting laughed at, fam. You're gonna work for the rest of your life. Like, it's unfortunate, but I think that's why also the pandemic, when it hit and people were really on their own at home, losing money, like, and unfortunately a lot of people that did actually even do their own due diligence of starting businesses lost their businesses during that time and shit, right? But I think a lot of people during that time like decided to go into entrepreneurship. At least for me, I noticed a bigger boom in entrepreneurship at that time. Everybody like just taking more risks, it seemed like, because I don't know, maybe just realize how none of it is actually guaranteed to begin with. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I've noticed more people taking risks, it seems like. It's kind of cool.
I think it's good though. I think it, more and more people that you can, start your own thing, and I'm very for small businesses because I own one. But
You are one?
yeah, I am one literally. But I think if anyone has a passion, and doesn't mean that everyone's going to be good at being a business
It's the
owner.
unfortunate thing.
But I do think at least if you give it a try and you can see if it
Have
works
to.
for you, right?
Have
You
to
will
try.
never know if you don't try, right?
And it'll
So-
only make you better at the other things in your life.
Yeah.
Dead ass. The same way as I think bombing on stage, even if you don't want to be a comedian, will only help you at other things in your life. You'll be more maybe comfortable having uncomfortable conversations because you're like, bro, I was drenched in sweat on stage, so uncomfortable like I've never been in my life. So this is actually not that bad, right? So like when it comes to like trying to create something, it's such a ballsy fucking thing, bro, that you even beginning, you're already like, in my opinion, mentally a little bit ahead of the curve, yo. Now, the whole process, not everybody's gonna be perfect. Not everybody's gonna be the most consistent. Not everybody's gonna be the best business savvy person, blah, blah, blah. So if it doesn't go right, but you still tried hard to actually figure it out, bro, that'll only help you with anything else that you decide to do. And if you decide to have kids too, you now have knowledge that a lot of other people don't. when it comes to doing your own thing, and when it comes to failing, and when it comes to sticking it out. Because you might be like, maybe I should have stuck it out, or you might be like, everything happens for a reason. But the trying thing is crazy, because the older you get, it does feel a little bit more shame around trying.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, it's as if you just even trying is crazy.
Well, I try to tell that to people that, well, I guess you can do it at any age, but I look at it as like, for me, I don't have any kids. I don't have a house. I don't have so I can take more
Less
risks.
excuses, way less excuses.
Well, and
no?
more risks too. Like I don't have a child to provide for. I don't have a mortgage payment. So it's like I can take more risks and see if they can essentially benefit me later on. And if they don't, well, I don't have those same responsibilities as somebody that does, right?
Yeah.
So
We all have 24 hours in a day. It all looks different, of course. Excuse me. It all looks different, of course, but something that doesn't change, right? Some people will have the same amount of struggle. Everybody's struggle is different. Let me say more bland. Like some people might have the same amount of kids, right? Might work the same hours as you, but then like it looks like it looks so completely two different images, right? Like every comedian's different, every gym is different, every gym owner is different, every workout's, every personal trainer is freaking different, right? Like, you gotta, I guess, find your own thing and shit, right?
mm-hmm.
Do you feel like this is it for you?
like in the of what I'm done, like I'm done.
Where
kind
you're
of
at,
thing?
like, or do you want to just keep building whatever you have right now, or is there more things that you want to branch off to?
Yeah, I think like this podcasting would be really cool to be doing. Like, I'm gonna be real honest. Podcasting for me is like more of a passion project right now than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to be able to have content that when I decide to be able to either slow down my in-person or slow down my nutrition, I can decide to take more on. It's just but your allocation of time, right? So it's like I have to look at when I look at my business in the aspect of the gym, my nutrition, the podcasting, well, what things are going to be benefiting me more when it comes to being able to pay for bills or survive or whatever. And then once those things have been established more, I have maybe more people in place, or I can take a step back a little bit from those. I can put more time somewhere else.
What are those other things that you would think about putting time into?
Well, essentially, when it comes down to the podcast, that would be more episodes, being able to have different guests.
No, apart from the episode in the gym, like, would you ever be down to own like an ice cream shop? Like,
Oh,
you ever had
interesting.
those type of thoughts? Like, you know what I mean? Or do you want to just stay in this realm?
I see. For the longest time, I was thinking supplements.
Okay.
But there's ways to implement supplements without having an actual storefront.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually always wanted to also do, speaking of kind of like being in front of a crowd or public speaking, doing conferences or doing
That's cool.
seminars, I think would be really cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it kind of actually goes hand in hand with it. You're talking about, having a following or an audience. It's like not everyone's going to align with how I speak or how I say things or how I go about things. But if I have 5 people that want to listen to me, well, why not 100 people that are going to want to listen to me? So when we look at it hand in hand, when it comes down to what I actually eventually want to be able to do more of, and I've done some seminars here before, and I've done, smaller groups. I look at it as just teaching. I like to teach people. I like to teach and give people right information and information that I have tried myself, but also have noticed that it didn't actually help me. And trying to kind of cut out all the BS of what the industry kind of brings. And because every industry has that. Every industry has the fluff, and everyone wants to try to get rid of that and understand how to as quick as possible. So I just want to make things pretty much straight to the point. So with that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to yeah, man, I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to own like just random businesses. Like especially how ICBC did me at the impound. I'm like, I would love to own an impound lot. Bro, what? You charge niggas per day?
Yeah, it's
After
crazy,
my
dude.
car is already totaled? Bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
And the cop told me, bro, you're not paying for this. Just, anyways, I was in that moment, bro, just paying my $800. And I'm like, yo, you just made $800 off me. There's no discussion. There's none of that. They run that shit like a tight ship, bro. I'm like, whoever owns this business is a genius. Because like every other company that works, the tow is literally the personal companies they work with. They're like, they don't allow anybody else there. So that'd be cool. Owning a barbershop would be cool. Just random stuff. One thing I always would like to do, and I think I'll do it maybe when I'm able to pay for it myself. I would really like to like go into law school.
Oh,
That'd be
okay,
really
that's cool.
I think the idea of knowing your rights, and especially as a black person, bro, being able to know your rights and know exactly where the line is,
Yeah.
and not let other people tell you, because you can't trust everybody, right? And I would feel a lot safer also raising my kids, I think, because I feel like peace of mind is huge, bro. And knowing what to tell your kids, how to actually really lead them and not lead them astray, and give them the best tools you can, because we're obviously not perfect. I think that would be sick. So law, that's something I think is sick, bro. Being able to know your rights, and they also charge so much, bro. Yeah, they charge so much, bro. You know what I mean? But
law, like I'm not a big, like I went to 2 years of college, and for me it was, I don't know, school wasn't my cup of tea, but that's okay. I think it's, for some people it is, depending on what you want to do. There's that one point I want to do a little, I think I wanted to get into like criminology, which probably led to me being a police officer at some point. But at the end of the day, I think, learning things that sometimes has nothing to do with what you're actually doing right now.
Beneficial as fuck.
Huge, because it's, it sometimes complements what you actually end up doing. Sometimes I've learned about something.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, damn, I never knew how it actually translated to what I'm actually doing, or how I was able to help someone.
Just a different perspective.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah. And I feel you. Hey, maybe we can own a gym together one day. I would really like, when I worked at Gold's Gym and I saw how franchises work, and how like how unserious some gyms are, and it's just really just about the name. Once you really take in how franchises work, you're like, yo, anybody could do this. You just gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
Like Young Thug said, man, you know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean? I had a plan. I was just down bad, but I had a plan, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you just have a plan, you can literally make anything happen. And if you're consistent, like, you can make anything happen. So I would actually like to own a gym one day.
That's cool too.
That'd be really sick, bro. Like, and I'm getting a sauna, because a lot of niggas don't respect saunas to get them. I'm looking at you right now, okay? And a cold plunge area, cold plunge area and a sauna.
Cold plunge now. That's
Just I'm letting you know, there's a lot of, you guys see the open space back here. You know what I mean?
Gotta get a sauna and cold plunge in here.
Just saying.
It's being in the gym industry, man, it's pretty cool. Like, you could probably relate to this with being a comedian, but you literally have like every walks of life that you will at a show or in a class, and it's like, it's kind of crazy to think, because there's not many other industries that are like that. Usually you'll have someone that, comes somewhere because they like either they have to, or that's what their interest is. But a lot of places, like especially for the gym, I always try to give the example. You might have like the CEO of the company in the room, but you also might have the employee at like the bottom, and they don't even know each other, but they're in the same place, same time, doing the same same thing.
Exactly. And you can make so many connections that way too. This is beautiful, man. This is what it's about. Yeah, he started a community here, and he's just building off of it. This is really what it's about. Hey, listen, man, if you guys want to get right mentally, physically, maybe not emotionally, you could come out here. I don't know the address, but the address, you know.
I forgot that I gave you the introduction, so that you're the host now.
I'm the
you can
fucking
say
host.
whatever you can say whatever
Listen,
you want, apparently.
Fitness Lab, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're really getting it up. You know what I mean? The energy is always high. As high as you can imagine. I promise you that. Fitness Lab, baby. Get right within.
This is what happens when we have a comedian on. This is what's gonna happen.
The truth will come out.
All the truth
will come out. All the drugs, you should have seen what he was doing before. He went to the bathroom. I said, "What are you doing in there?" He said, if it ain't snowing, I ain't going, brother." I said, "Okay."
Graham's like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do now with this?"
His life's over. Because he's gotten more and more red throughout in the last 5 minutes. No, it's all good. No worries, guys. Yeah, you knew what you were tuning into.
Yeah,
okay?
You did. Funny. Okay, so actually, I do want to circle back to something that you said.
Okay.
About audience and social media.
Okay.
How important do you think social media and being a comedian is when it comes down to building your brand?
It's massive, especially nowadays. you're not allowed to be mysterious anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not allowed to have excuses about it anymore either. That's why I said earlier, yeah, just have, especially when you have no kids, you have this, you have just less excuses, right? That somebody could make, like, but you need it because you could really have a career that takes 10 years to pop off because your career is in somebody else's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to getting better, when you write new material, how many stages can you really find to try that stuff out? Or you could take it in your hands and put it on your own show where it's your own crowd, where it's not just a random crowd, it's your own crowd. There's also benefits to obviously random crowds and open mics, but taking it in your hands and then people following you from that. So every show, anybody who tells me, yo, I think you're funny, yeah, you should follow me, I do shows. So the more followers you get, the more it's more direct of like really what your account is about. So when I'm messaging people, it's not like we all have a bunch of people that just follow us just to watch, but they don't really support.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're your friends in real life or whatever, like they won't really support online or none of that. But like the more you have followers that are legit, just they like you for what you do, man, you can really sell anything. Like, for example, as a touring comedian, you can go to a club and say, hey, look at my followers so I can bring a crowd. That's already checked, that you checked one box, right? 2, if they don't trust you enough and they need you to prove yourself, you could literally buy every ticket in that bitch, which is basically like, it's an investment at that point. Yeah, they're going to give you the venue, but just to make sure they make money that night, just so the tickets are sold out, you could buy all those tickets and then now you sell them and then you'll make the money back off that. But all that literally started off of just the following count. You know what I mean? Them being able to trust you off that. So that helps a lot more people now that I think, I don't know about this part because I haven't gotten there yet, but I would think it's helped a lot more people, make it a lot easier for some people to book tours and stuff like that. Because you can also reach out to these people. They can see your stuff. Like a lot of these people are more on socials now too, so they'll keep up. Some of them might have even seen your stuff already, right? Even if you're a club owner, but you're just on social media here and there. When you're on Facebook, bro, they give you so many random reels. You might see a comedy set. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, but it's so important. You have to put your face out there. Nobody's gonna know you if you're hiding, right? So, kind of saying that to myself a little bit, but you have to.
Well, yeah, I've seen some of your content too, and I've seen also content that's similar about like going on the streets, like in Vancouver, let's say, or in downtown, and like interviewing people. Do you like that stuff?
I like all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
All that stuff is funny. Anything that has to do with talking to people, I think is dope. You know what I mean? Obviously, some environments is gonna be more hostile than others. There's a high chance of hostility, but it's anything talking to people is fun because there's gonna be at some point some funny ass shit that happens, especially if you just go about it just on some like just trying to have a good time. Something funny will happen. You'll meet somebody funny. You'll meet somebody dope. So, you know what I mean? So I think anything you want to do it. Some of them are obviously incriminating as fuck. Some of these people, I'm like, I don't think you ever plan on getting a job again. Maybe never plan on getting them married again. Some people are literally, it's like they're being exposed for cheating while they're drunk on the street, getting interviewed, and they're blabbermouthing shit. I'm like, all right, that's somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's such thing as a digital footprint, you know what I mean? But to each their own, though.
Do you, when you say hostility, has there any been a moment or something in your career where it really stood out that somebody got very offended by what your joke or had like tried to, I don't know, say something to you while you were on stage or?
All the above, bro. Something as light as like making a short joke, and it's coming from somebody who's like, I'm compact. I'm not short. I'm compact, but like, there was a girl that I saw that was small. She was like 4'11", and when I met her, I thought she was so little, so young. Topic of discussion. I noticed it, brought it up. Everybody around is talking about, yeah, we all say this too. She's like, I get this all the time, blah blah blah. So we're making jokes, right? She's laughing, everybody's laughing. It's being filmed because I like to vlog stuff just to have footage. A few days go by, I get a huge paragraph from her saying she felt uncomfortable by how I was making fun of her and she didn't like it, and she, I think, cried at some point, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Something like that for me. I didn't understand it, but you got to deal with it accordingly. You know what I mean? She didn't want that footage to be put out. I didn't put out the footage. It is what it is, right? I don't have to understand it, but you know, it's their life. So some stuff like that will happen where it's like, it'll be a surprise because you weren't trying to be, you didn't think that was mean.
Yeah,
right? Like it's, and especially again, coming from a compact person, I thought that was strange. I've been on stage before while somebody's talking shit to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that happens.
How's that?
You got to handle it, bro, with grace, man. Because if you get too aggressive, you lose the crowd so quick,
yeah, because
man.
you like are now the one being hostile.
Like, and just because you have the mic, bro.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, even if people are on your side, now they're watching they're tense, waiting for like what's about to happen. So you have to like make fun of them. Oh, my fault. My ear's bugging. You have to like make fun of them and also be graceful and also like be aggressive, but also like involve the crowd and also cut it short. That's one thing, you got to cut that shit fucking short, or else they took over the show. Right? But yeah, sometimes people just start talking. They don't give a fuck about what you're saying.
If you're just having a conversation,
Bro, some people. Last show that I did like a month or two ago, there's a show that I did. There's 2 girls that were just sitting there, just on their phone at some point, looking, talking. It makes you question yourself. I'm like, am I sucking that bad right now? Like, but then people will laugh, but it was really just them two, right? But stuff like that happens, man.
So what do you do in that case? You just keep going?
Gotta keep going. That's why I'm saying I got better once I start working on myself personally in my own life. Because in those moments, I'm not like, it's harder to trigger me. It's getting harder and harder to trigger me because I'm able to slow down those moments and just handle it rather than, freak out. Because what can you do, bro? This is really just real life dealing with freaking idiots, deadass.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. You paid to come to a show where everybody else paid also to come to a show, but now there's people that get drunk, especially when it comes to politics. It doesn't matter what side you're on. When it's funny as long as you're not being fucking like vindictive, right? Unless we're making fun of like the obvious when we're talking about like niggas like Trump and shit like that, right? But there's a Trump supporter at a show in Surrey, which is so funny in Canada. Buddy and his whole crew of homies stormed out, made a scene, screaming. The girls,
at the show?
Yeah, bro. And this is a big name. I'm upset I'm forgetting his name. He's a big comedian. He's in Canada, bro. Brown dude. He's been on TV for a very long time, and then now he tours also. He's up there professional as fuck. I learned a lot from him that weekend because he was up there keeping it going, but these guys were not the type of guys to just let it go, bro. They were screaming back and forth, and he's trying to have a conversation with them. He's like, at least let me finish the joke. And they're like, no, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. Like screaming, bro. Like people were at security, like, bro, a scene. So stuff like that. I don't understand how people leave the house planning to act like that, but
were you the host of this thing?
I wasn't the host. All I was doing, I was working door that day. I was working door at Yuck Yucks in Surrey, so it was a great learning experience to just witness, bro. He was so professional about it, in my opinion, and he ended up being able to grab the crowd back, and then he killed it at the very end, and like he did his job, bro. It was sick to watch. But you basically have to work on yourself to be ready for anything. That's that. I really think working on yourself will make everything else easy as fuck.
And was it just because? Sorry, I'm intrigued now by the story. Was it because of a joke that he was saying that people got offended?
He was telling a joke about MAGA. He was telling a joke about Trump and Trump supporters. And right when he started, they just got heated, bro. Which I'm surprised. Like, do you really think you're gonna go outside as a Trump supporter and find people that like? Obviously they are, because you guys you're there. But like, do you really think you're gonna find that many people that are like, yes, fuck yes? Like they're gonna go on stage and be like, yo, you know why I love Trump? And it really tell a story that's not sarcastic about Trump. Yeah. Like every single, you know what I mean? Like you're going to lose the crowd.
It's probably more, and you're in a different country too, so.
Like, if anything, you know what I like about this shit that's going on, bro? I like seeing people that are prideful about where they're from, man. Maybe that'll help white people understand why when we move to a country like this, we still like to hold on to our fucking culture, bro. The same way that you guys are really saying, fuck US, it's all about Canada. I went to a show and a comedian repped the fact that he was from the US off the top. And he killed, bro. He went from like, they introduced him, they were clapping for him. As soon as he introduced that he's from the US, bro, the whole room.
Just like
the energy died. And I actually felt bad for him, bro. He did a set and they were not fucking with him. There's heckling people. One of the guys, as soon as he said he's from the States, white dude in the back is like, why don't you go back home, bud? Go back over the border, bud. It was actually kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yo, I love watching white on white crime, bro. It's sick. It was so sick. But, yeah, that's all it was. It was politics, man. You know how it is.
Well, and you probably get that more in your industry too, because there's probably some things that might offend someone with a joke. But then I'm always like, well, if you're going to a comedian show, it's a joke. Like it's
everything is. But you know what?
It's context. I'm guessing
such a dangerous. I always say it, but it's a dangerous thing when I'm saying it to like a masses. So I always have to like clarify it, like. The way you say something, how you say it, how well you know the person you're saying it to, what you're saying to that person, like just the environment, all that type of things matter. All the tonality, all that type of stuff matter. You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to read the room at the end of the day. You can't walk up to somebody and tell the most aggressive, intrusive joke, and you've never even
Met
You've never
them.
asked them how are they. You never
Yeah.
asked about their family. Like you don't give a fuck about them, but you believe you should have the right to say whatever you want. That's where people come from. I should be able to say whatever you want, bro. That's ridiculous. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like as much as that's why I said earlier, I want to do whatever I want, but there's also gonna be bounds there. But bro, I can't walk around killing niggas. You can't walk around just fucking spewing whatever you want at
Yeah.
people if you don't know them, especially. But yeah, man, you would hope that if you're going to a comedy show, it's gonna be professional comedy and everything they say is funny. But there's stuff the comedian will say where there's no punchline. It's just you're just putting out whatever it's on your mind in that moment, and yeah, at that moment you find out. Hopefully you like what they say, and if you don't, then you don't. Everybody has the right to not like something. You'll never go to a show where even if everybody bought tickets, where everybody will like the whole show. I don't think.
Do you, once a comedian gets like, let's say, and again, the definition of really big or really
Yeah.
successful, everyone has a different view on that. But once they've gotten to that point, do you feel then, not that they can say whatever they want, but at that point, it's kind of not as frowned upon saying whatever you want?
It depends how you build your career. Some people build their career off that type of energy, so the standards are different for them.
Mm-hmm.
So standards for a guy like Dave Chappelle is different. If it was soft at the beginning of his career and then he decided to do this now, people would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Because it's just such
It's
a
in-
big switch.
You know what I'm saying? Like people are not very accepting when it comes to changes, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially when they're a fan of you, which is not really you being a fan. You just, the idea of whatever I'm providing for you right now is what you're liking. You're not actually a fan of me.
Mhm.
Like Kevin Hart, for example, like he already had apologized for a joke that he made a long time ago. It popped up again during a bunch of stuff that happened. And the Oscars, I think it was the Oscars that he was supposed to host. He was supposed to, I think the first comedian or the first black something. And then the Oscars came out, or whoever it was, I forget who it was. But anyways, they came out and asked him, hey, you got to apologize publicly or else you're not going to get to it. And he said, yo, fuck that. There's no point. But that's just because he did so much family-friendly stuff at a certain point. Once he really got to the top, that I would beg to differ and say that once you get to that point, sometimes it's actually harder for you to say whatever you want. But I guess it all depends on how you establish yourself. But regardless, once you get there, the money's not just coming from one place anymore. And you don't even meet the people the money's coming from. So the people at the very top don't always have to separate business and politics or emotions and stuff like that. So if you believe, for example, it's free Palestine and you post that, you're going to lose deals. You're going to lose this, that, and the third,
because
blah, blah, blah. Some of these people don't give a fuck.
Interesting. So when you look at a comedian show that you've seen either in person or on TV, or which one is something that stands out to you, or which is something that you might recommend to somebody to watch and why?
Ooh, like a special?
Yeah, or special, or even
Damn.
when you've in person, let's say.
I mean, come check me out.
There's the plug.
That-
we
you know what I
usually do
mean?
that at the end, but that's fine. We can do it now.
I'm just saying that'd be nice. You know what I mean? I try to be funny as well. Watch Bill Burr. I think you should watch Kevin Hart, especially in interviews, and Bill Burr. You got to watch these dudes not only on stage too. Watch them in interviews, then you really see their personality. It's really nice to see, in my opinion. Like, but shoot, I wish I had a list of things to say here. Like, but
What's a show that you've been to that's been your favorite?
the only show that I went to, Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
When he came in Vancouver in like 2015 or something like that.
I saw that one. Yeah, I
Floor
was there.
seats, that was crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
Crazy. But show that I did that was really fun recently, that was like, wow. Just because the whole lineup of comedians in the green room was just so fun. Everybody was talkative, even though people were nervous. Like, everybody was fun. Everybody was talkative. Everybody was giving each other game, advice about business. Oh, this helps me for promoting. This helps me. And the headliner was from he's from Zimbabwe, but then he moved to the States and he's a huge deal now. Like, he's been on America's Got Talent and all that. So like, and he was so chill, bro. So it was literally, we laughed so much in the back that by the time we went on stage, like, you already warmed up. And then he did like an hour. Then he's funny as fuck. Like, he does clean stuff. He does raunchy stuff. He does all that. But that was a really, really fun show to be a part of. I almost forgot. When I wasn't even ready, I hosted a show at the Rio Theater.
Tell us about that.
I wasn't ready, bro. I wish I could remember. I wish I would have filmed it, all that. My friend just who's the comedian's name? Is it Wes Hype or is that the promoter's name? Shoot. Sorry, I'm doing you a disservice, big dad. But anyways, thank you for the opportunity regardless. My homie was like, yo, they're coming in town from here and there and they're looking for openers and the host. Do you want to host? Because I was doing heavy hosting of nightclubs at the time. So people get me to host literally whatever because I can just talk, right? If you can just talk to people. So I went in there, bro. crazy. Waiting outside for somebody to come get us was insane because the lineup was massive. You walk inside, I've never been in there before. It's a theater, bro. It's massive. Like, there's an upstairs and everything, bro. Like, when I stood up there, I've never been that tall in my fucking life. I almost got, I got scared, you know what I mean? Like, I was out here, I was so scared. My knees were shaking and all that. But, yeah, no. And then you look around, you can't do crowd work the same. You could barely see some people's faces. It's so big. Like, that was amazing. That was a great experience. And I'm looking forward to being able to do that again.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah, I think I have been to a few of your shows, and I've actually been to the stuff when you've used to do at the nightclubs too. So I've seen a little bit of everything over the years.
That's cool.
I think you're very good at crowd management, if that makes sense, if I worded that correctly.
Thank you.
You know, I think I've been to a few comedy shows, and you can tell when either someone doesn't feel uncomfortable or they don't feel confident on what they're doing. I think also too, I understand that because I'm also talking in front of a lot of people all the time as well. So you know how it can come across sometimes, like as you're communicating to someone, if somebody's not confident, like they're like, you know, you can tell the anxiety, you can almost feel the anxiety a little bit. Right. So, yeah, it's fun. It's been fun to see how you are different though in where you're performing or where you're hosting. Because I know when you're in a club setting, it's very different than when you are doing a show.
For sure.
You know, so I think it's been really fun to watch. We're running a little bit low on time, but I do want to chat a little bit about your direction when it comes now to these next few months. This podcast is going to be posted a little bit later than what the date is, but it would be cool for you to talk like around the June time, July, August, if there's any kind of shows or anything that you'll be hosting coming up.
Well, next couple of months, I would like to go back somewhere like Edmonton, Ontario, do a couple more shows there just to get my name out. It's really fun performing out of town. I almost feel famous low-key sometimes.
Yeah, because you don't know everyone and new people, right?
Especially if you do well, people really love you. It's easier to support a stranger, right? For a lot of people. But I'm doing a show with Sean McDonald. If you haven't seen him yet, you look him up, bro. He's a huge deal on social media. He's one of those guys that's on his shit when it comes to socials. TikTok's massive, Instagram's massive, YouTube's massive, all that. Posts every day, like 3-4 times a day, so he'll entertain you, and he's funny. He's not one of those PC comedians, right? But I'm doing a show with him in June. We're gonna be producing that together.
Cool.
So we're gonna do a lot of interactive crowd work stuff together on stage together. I'm really looking forward to that one. He's somebody I respect. You know what I mean? His writing, his performance, all that. So I'm nervously excited to see how I can spar with him a little bit. After that, I'm gonna be doing another show the next month with my homie Sean Gowa. He's a younger black male, but he's from Vancouver. We're gonna be doing that in Vancouver as well. Ideally, I would like to do another show after that, but I haven't planned that far ahead. It's kind of set me back a little bit that I don't have my car right now, so I haven't been able to take a look as many venues as I would have wanted to. But just do more shows, do more writing, and post more, man. And I just need to post more and have more of a system. Just tighten up my system as much as possible. I need to just keep getting better, and take advantage of every single opportunity. I've been doing a really good job of that. I'm proud of myself for the last year, bro, especially. I'm out here stretching before. I'm doing breathing exercises. I got my routine, bro. I'm before shows. So I just want to keep getting better at taking advantage of opportunities, because you're one opportunity away sometimes from like the right people seeing you, and it's over with. Your video blows up, bro. All of a sudden like it opens up so many things for you, right? So just put myself out there, man. I gotta put myself out there. I gotta put me first.
Do you have a lot of clips of you?
I have a lot of videos of me, but I gotta make a lot of clips of me.
Why don't you use Opus?
I can do any of these things. It's just about consistency.
Like Opus is just like the nice thing about Opus is you throw it into the platform, it cuts clips for you, and then
it cuts clips for you,
and then it puts text too.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
I use CapCut.
Yeah, but no, Opus is nice, man. You just throw the video in, it cuts clips for you. It gives you like 30 clips, and it'll give you like a title of the clip. It'll give you all the text of the clip.
How does it decide which clip to pick?
It'll give you like 30 different clips, and you can pick which one you want out of those.
How
clips.
does it? But how would it know which part is funny? Like, you know what I mean?
It's like an AI. Graham knows a little bit more about it, but
Yeah, I'm
you
down.
can
I'm
even-
down to look into it. No,
yeah,
that's cool.
honestly, man, like I know a lot of people, and we've used it in the past too in cutting clips. It's like it gives you options, and it'll give it like a rating of the clip too. So it'll be like, this clip is a 99 out of 100 because of this, and I'll explain to you why it thinks it's a 99 out of 100. Doesn't mean for your audience it would be, but it at least gives you like an option of reading the description of why this clip might be a good choice. But then it also gives you a ton of different ones, and it gives you a title, gives you everything. That way you just don't have to do it.
This guy's sponsored by them, just so you know.
Fuck, that would be nice.
This guy is sponsored by these guys.
That's my first. That's my first. Getting a podcast sponsor. I've not had one yet, so
Then
that'd be the first goal.
maybe then you can start paying niggas. Then maybe then I'll perform for you. Maybe then I'll give you a free show, and you know
We should
can
we should
do
get you out
something.
here, do a comedy show for the clients.
That'd be sick, man. You know, I could put on a show in here.
Oh, dude, it's big enough.
I could
It's
put on a show in
huge,
here.
dude.
Somebody at one of the gyms in Vancouver, F45, but also Athletic Club or something, I think it's
Yeah.
called. That Athletic Club one that looks really beautiful, low ceiling, bro, dim lights. They
Yeah.
pimp that bitch out to be a comedy club sometimes.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
like, bro, like, and they move all the punching bags and everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes I walk in almost every single space, being like, "Could I do a show here? Could I?"
That's a good
If
way
I
of
was to
looking at
steal
it.
the key, could I produce a show here? But yeah, that'd be sick. We could do a show in Mission, bro. I'm down. As long as people show up, I'll make you laugh. I'll do my best at
The
least.
Clark, actually, though, in Mission, the Clark Theater would be really cool. Actually.
Is it big? Is it a large space?
Yeah, yeah. It's what? How much, Graham? How many seats?
Probably max 500.
Maybe. Oh, that's another thing too, man. Sonny Daliwa, full circle moment. I did a
Yeah.
show with him the other day.
Yeah.
That was the first time we were ever on the same show. Again, remember, this is the guy that put me on my first show. I got to perform. I performed in front of him. I think that's the second time I got to perform in front of him. And anyways, long story short, we're going to be doing a show together.
Cool.
Now, he's a really, really big deal. So that's the only time I'd be doing a show like that, at least right now,
Is he
at the point of my career.
was he there when I went to that show in Vancouver?
He's never done any one of my shows like as a comedian.
Okay.
That was on somebody else. That was an underground comedy club that I saw him last week. But
Okay.
yeah, we ended up chopping it up, and we're gonna be doing a show because we're both from Abbey, man. We're
Oh,
both,
cool, yeah,
We're both out here.
Sweet.
Like, he's touring. He's in the States right now, so he's all over the place. But ideally, if everything works out, and you know he didn't play me to get me excited for no reason, then we're gonna be doing a show together too, bro. And we're gonna be doing. That's gonna be for the Fraser Valley for sure.
That's cool.
That's for the Fraser Valley.
That's
for
gonna
sure.
probably be more in the summer. I'm guessing later in the summer.
Whenever it's clever, man. Like whenever it works out is hopefully when it'll work out. Right?
Sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Winter time maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like a comedy session is good anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime
right?
you want to laugh, man, it's
Yeah,
a good
man.
time. Right?
Hopefully every day.
Yeah. I just want to give you a thank you because I know you're the host of this episode, but I'll do the outro.
You're
Don't
welcome.
worry. I'll do the outro, by the way. But I do always like to, at the end, you know, if there's anywhere that someone can find you. I know you were talking about some shows like later into June, July, August, but you know, where can people find you on socials? If they have any questions, if maybe somebody wants a comedy show hosted by you, like how can they find you?
Hey man, listen, first of all, shout out you.
Appreciate
Okay? And shout out you too for making it this far. Second of all, African Child. 2 eyes on the first eye. African Child, 2 eyes on the first eye on every single platform. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And my email is just my first and last name, Providence Ndize. You can find how to spell it on my Instagram because I know a lot of you white people right now just had an aneurysm. But providencendize@gmail.com for bookings for any corporate gigs or anything like that. Man, that's another thing too. I'm grateful I've been able to host private birthday parties. I've been able to host
that's cool.
weddings. I've been able to, bro, I'll do whatever.
He will do whatever.
Show me the money, brother. You know what
You
I
heard
mean?
it here. He'll
Show
do
me the
whatever.
money, brothers and sisters. We can figure it out. You know what I mean? In this economy, brother, I might not even need to see what you want me to do. Just give me the money first. Fuck it. Give me the money first. We'll figure it out later. I mean, but really, though, reach out, man. I'm just trying to have a good time and help people have a good time as well.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you again for coming. And like I said, if you guys want to see him perform, be a host, whatever, he has some good stuff. Like I said, I've gone to a few shows. Probably I want to at least say a handful over the years. I want to say.
Hey, I used to
the
give you free
clubs,
shows in class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I showed this man my dick. You know what I'm saying? brother, I'm a very, you know what I mean? We have a lot of avenues here. You let me know what you want. Just show me the money. Okay. You showed me some money. I mean, I showed him my dick for free at some point. Fuck. Anyways, this is your outro. My fault.
All good. I just want to thank everyone for listening to episode 37 of the North Star Podcast.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Peace, love, happiness.
Peace. Thank you.